Ladies, how are you dealing with conflict in your marriage? Are you nagging your husband? Are you bringing up past arguments and current situations? How are you dealing with conflict? It's your girl Shaquina Lewis, and I am back with another video. So today we are going to talk about how are we dealing with conflict in our marriage, all right? And today's reading is found in Ephesians 5, verse 33. And it says, however, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. And my ladies, listen, the wife must respect her husband. All right, so today we're gonna talk about different points, different ways to effectively deal with conflict with your husbands, all right? So my first point is prioritize open communication, effective communication. And I know this may sound cliche, but honestly, one key point in dealing with conflict with your spouse is communicating effectively. All right, expressing your needs and concerns without blame and actively listen. All right, guys, so in the beginning of our marriage, my husband and I have been married for 10 years. This year, 2025, will make us 10 years in marriage, all right? And I'm not gonna tell you that my relationship has been perfect. I'm not gonna come on here and tell you that we have not had conflict. I'm not gonna come in here and tell you that we never have gone through it. Because let me tell you something, no relationship is perfect. If somebody tells you that their relationship is perfect, there's no fighting, there's no arguing, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Because when two people come together, two people of different backgrounds, two people of different upbringings come together, there will indeed be conflict. I was raised in a separate household. He was raised in a household. I was brought up one way. He was brought up one way. So there's no way there's not going to be conflict, okay? And there has been times in my marriage where I even thought about giving up. And I'm sure he's felt the same way. Probably not, because I'm the best thing that hasn't happened to him. But there's been times where I wanted to throw in the towel. There's been times where I just wanted to give up. All right. We've had a lot of ups, but we've had a lot of downs as well. And the beautiful thing about marriage, what I love about marriage is despite everything that we've gone through, despite everything that I have put him through, he has put me through, the love, the foundation has always been strong. You know, the fact that two people who has gone through certain situations could put that aside and say, I love you, you love me, I want to make this work, that is beautiful, all right? Because guys, believe it or not, love is a choice. It's not a feeling, it's not an emotion, it's a choice. I choose you, you choose me. I choose to forgive you, you choose to forgive me. I choose to make it work, you choose to make it work. If you're going based on emotion and feeling, you have a rude awakening coming your way. It will not work, guys. Okay. All right, so my ladies, my first point is communicating effectively, prioritizing open communication, expressing your needs and concerns without blame, and actively listening, guys. Again, I'm going to talk about an experience of my own. When my husband and I first got married, and this is something we are still actively working on, when my husband and I would get into it or have a dispute or have an argument, or he would do something to me, I would do something to you, do you know how I would act, which is wrong? I would tell him what's wrong with me, tell him what I'm feeling, tell him why I'm mad. And you know what I would do? He as well. We would ignore each other. All right. He's in the house, I'm in the house. I don't see you, you don't see me. I'm going about my business, you going about your business. We would just give each other the silent treatment. And let me tell you guys, that is not effective communication. Because you know what can happen in that time of silence, in that time of silent treatment? There can be a void that grows. And when there's a void in a relationship, that gives the enemy space to enter. That gives the enemy space to have this young female come in and grabs your husband's attention. Could give, that space for this young man to grab your wife's attention. Silent treatment is not the answer. You must effectively communicate with your husband. Tell your husband what's wrong. Tell him what you're feeling, because guess what? They cannot read our mind. They can't read our mind. The only person who walked this earth that was able to read minds, his name is Jesus Christ. If your husband's name is not Jesus Christ, that man cannot read your mind. You must be able to talk to your husband. Tell your husband, you know what, honey, or babe, or sweetheart, you did this to me and I don't like it. Here, this is how it made me feel. This is why I don't like it. All right? And then you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna actively listen. You're not gonna listen to give an answer, to respond, but you're gonna actively listen to what he's saying. A lot of females, men as well, when we're in a dispute or an argument with our spouse, you know what we do when our spouse is talking? We're not listening and understanding what they're saying. You know what we're doing? We're listening to give a response back. We're listening to give the best comeback. But it will not go nowhere. You need to effectively listen and speak to your spouse. All right? And don't play blame. Don't do the blame game. It's your fault. It's my fault. No. Actively communicate with your spouse. The next point is empathy and perspective. Try to understand your partner's emotions. That's a big one. A lot of females, guys, a lot of women, it's always about us. It's always about, this is how you made me feel. This is how I feel. You're not showing me affection. You're not showing me love. You're not showing me attention. You're not showing me this, without taking into considerations his emotions as well. It's like society believes that men should not feel. Men don't have emotions. Men should be hard all the time. Men should be strong all the time. But that's not true. And this is another area of my marriage that I also had to work on myself. You know, my husband is a type of man, when he's dealing with something internally, if he's not being able to provide the way he wants to provide, because he is the sole provider in our family, if he has set a project to accomplish in 3 months, and 3 months has gone by, he has not accomplished that, my husband is the type to shut down. My husband will shut down. Okay. And in the beginning, I would take that as, you're not showing me affection. You're not showing me love. You're not spending time with me, but not taking the time to truly understand what he was going through and putting that into perspective. Instead of nagging and telling him how you're making me feel, I didn't take time to listen to what he's dealing with eternally. And men, guys, they have a lot on their shoulders. We women have a lot as well, but their husbands, men, they have a lot on their plate, especially being the sole provider. My husband is our sole provider. Responsible men, they always want to see their family strive. They always thrive. They always want to see, you know, financially their family is good. They want to make sure this is working out. And when a man is dealing with all that, being the sole, you know, the leader of the household, that's a lot on his plate. So when something may be not going the way it's supposed to be going, or let's say this month, you know, his business is not doing too good, or whatever, that's a lot to put on his plate. And I was not understanding that. I was not taking his emotions into consideration. You know, yes, he's supposed to effectively communicate how he's feeling as well. Yes. But I have to be able to empathize with him and understand what he's going through. Okay? Not be so quick to nag him, but also take the time to listen to him too. You know, men should not only listen to females, but females should also take the time to listen to their man as well. Okay? So empathy and perspective taking. My next point is focusing on the issue, not the person. Avoid personal attacks, focus on the problem. My ladies, a lot of us loves to do that. We like to degrade our husband. We like to name call our husband. We like to say, oh, you're just like your father. You're just like your family. You're never gonna get us out of this. You're always gonna stay broke. You're always gonna live paycheck to paycheck. You're not gonna be able to take care of me like my father. You know, all this stuff. We should not attack the person, but we should attack the problem. Okay, imagine you're upset about something and somebody's coming to you and just telling you everything that you did wrong, everything that you're doing wrong. How is that going to make you feel? Is that going to de-escalate the problem, or are you going to get upset, more upset, more upset? Exactly. It's like a wound. You have a wound. If you continue digging into the wound, digging into the wound, digging into the wound, it's going to keep hurting. It's not going to heal, right? But if you take care of the wound, you wash it, you clean it, you know, you do what you're supposed to do on it, eventually that wound is going to feel better. It's going to get better. It's the same thing with your man. Stop attacking the man. Stop blaming the man. Stop telling him everything that he's doing wrong, but addressing the problem. Attacking the problem headstrong together. Yeah, babe, you have this weakness, but I'm not going to degrade you. We're going to work on this problem together. You know, we're going to come to a conclusion about it together. If we have to pray about this weakness that you may have, we're going to pray on this weakness together. If we need to go to counseling, we're going to go to counseling. If we need to talk to somebody, we're going to talk to somebody. We're going to get through it together, because you know what? We are a unit and we are one. If you're dealing with something or you fall, guess what? I fall too. If I fall, you fall too, because we are one. Stop attacking your husband, but attack the problem, attack the issue together, head on. My next point, stop putting people into your business. Stop calling your friends, stop calling your mom, your family members about your husband. Stop it, okay? You're only talking about yourself. It's not cute. Me, I'm the type of person, I don't tell anybody about my relationship, what's going on in my relationship with my husband. Even my mom, my mom is like, she has become like my best friend. I tell my mother everything. But when it comes to my husband, I'm very careful at what I tell her. You know why? Imagine you tell your mom, you tell your father, you tell your friends something that your husband is doing to you. You and your husband is going to get back good. You and your husband is going to make up. But you know what happens when you tell your mom, you tell your father, you tell your sister, you tell your friends about this man? You know what could happen? Not only your friends can lose respect for your husband, your parents, your family can start to dislike your husband. And you know what happens? Who lose respect? Your husband. I'm not saying you can't choose one person. Like for me, when I would go through certain things with my husband, you know who would be my go-to person? You know who I would talk to? His mom. You know why I chose his mom to help me into certain things? Because that is her son. No matter what I tell her, no matter what I say to her, she will never stop loving her son. She will never stop loving her son. So I chose my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, to be my go-to person. And even with that, there was still some things I didn't indulge too much. You know what I'm saying? Stop calling your friends, talking about your husband, talking badly about your husband. That's a big no. What happens in your bedroom, what happened in your household should stay between you and your husband. You guys should be able to deal with it between you and him. Stop putting other people into your business. Stop letting other people into your bedroom. It should stay between between you and your husband. And that's one area my husband and I, we are great in. Don't go on social media talking about your spouse. A lot of couples, when they get into arguments, you see, mainly the ladies do this. They go on their status and they talk bad about their spouse. They go on Facebook, or, you're only making yourself look bad. You're only hurting yourself. Stop letting other people inside in your conflict. You can choose one person. You can choose one person that you trust, right? But even with that one person, be careful. Do not put other people in your business. The last one which is, I feel like, one of the main important ones, is forgiveness and letting go. Be willing to forgive past mistakes. This is a big one, guys. It takes a lot to forgive someone, especially when that person has done something to you repeatedly, over and over again, has broken your heart over and over again, has, did this to you over and over again. Guys, I know. I get it. Even in my relationship, we've had to forgive each other. I've had to forgive him. He's had to forgive me. And it's not easy. There are some things that your spouse or your husband does to you that really put you in a place that you just want to walk away, or there's no turning back, or you feel like that's it. But let me tell you something. When you forgive your partner, it's only relieving yourself. It's only helping you. Okay? When you forgive, not only the Bible asks you to forgive, right? But it helps you. Your heart feels lighter. You're not angry. You're not upset. You're able to move on. And letting go. When I say letting go, when you're in an argument with your husband, let's say something happened 2 years ago, and you're in a current argument, don't bring up what happened 2 years ago into this current argument. Don't do that. In 1 Corinthians 13, it says, love keeps no records of wrong. If you made the decision to forgive your husband, you cannot keep bringing it up. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to forgive. Trust me, I've been there. I know it's hard to forgive certain things, but you know what you can do? Pray. Go to the Lord. Ask the Lord. Say, God, I'm dealing with this thing. I'm trying to forgive, but I can't. Open up my heart. Release some tension in my heart so I can be able to forgive this man. So I can be able to forgive my husband. All right. And help me to let it go. Don't keep bringing it up. Do not keep, because if you keep bringing it up, you did not truly forgive your spouse. Okay. Like I said, this is one of the tough ones. To conclude, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Learning how to deal with conflict inside of your marriage. It's not easy. It's a learning progress. You see, my husband and I have been together for 10 years, married for 10 years. The stuff that we used to deal with in the beginning of our marriage, guess what? We're not dealing with them now. We been through it, we learn from it, and then we move on. And I'm not saying now we're perfect. No, marriage is a continuous journey. It's a school. You keep learning. You keep learning from your mistake. Until one day, the things that you used to argue about, guess what? You're not going to argue about it anymore. Like my husband and I, we'd be sitting, we'd be like, oh my gosh, we've come a long way. My husband and I have come a long way, guys. And the journey is not over. And that's the beautiful thing about marriage. It's not over. You continuously learn about your partner, and you continually learn new things about your partner, and you continually learn how to deal with different situations. There's situations that happened to us in the beginning of our relationship that happen to us now, and we just laugh at it. Or we don't even take the time to argue about it because we've been there, we've done that, and we have learned from it. All right. So again, communicate with your spouse. Show empathy with their emotions, with what they're dealing with. Don't only make it about you, but also take into consideration his emotions, what he's going through. Focus on the issue, not the person. Do not attack the person. Do not blame the person, but together attack the issue together. All right? Stop putting people in your business. Stop putting people in your business. Lastly, forgive and letting go. All right. Always be respectful to your spouse. Talk to your spouse. Don't yell at your spouse, but talk to him. Excuse me. You understand? Talk to him. Express your needs. Be respectful. Be loving. Remember, we're females. We're supposed to be soft. We're supposed to be loving. Stop nagging all the time. Okay. And I want to just end with this. 1 Corinthians 13. This is one of my favorite chapters in the book. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. My favorite part, love never fails. It's your girl, Shaquina Lewis, and I'm out. Bye.